What you're about to see isn't a story about technology, it's a story about survival. Meet Alex, owner of a fast-growing boutique digital marketing agency. 2 years ago, business was booming, clients were signing, revenue was climbing, everything looked successful from the outside, but behind the scenes, the business was slowly becoming a machine that Alex could no longer control. Every morning started the same way: 6 a.m. alarm, coffee, panic. Because before Alex even got out of bed, more than 200 emails were already waiting. Customer questions, client revisions, invoice requests, sales inquiries, team updates, and every single message demanded attention. The first hour of every day disappeared inside the inbox. The second hour wasn't much better. Customer service tickets were piling up faster than the team could answer them. Simple questions, repeated hundreds of times. Questions that should have taken seconds, but somehow consumed entire afternoons. Then came the leads, the lifeblood of the business. Potential customers ready to spend thousands of dollars. But there was a problem. No one could keep up. Important inquiries slipped through the cracks. Follow-ups happened too late. Some never happened at all. Every missed lead felt like money disappearing into thin air, and the losses were adding up, fast. But the biggest problem wasn't customer support, and it wasn't sales. It was the invisible work. The endless administrative tasks nobody talks about: creating invoices, updating spreadsheets, copying customer information between systems, tracking payments, generating reports, data entry, more data entry, one misplaced decimal, one incorrect customer record, one missed invoice. And suddenly hours of work had to be redone. Mistakes became expensive, not because people were careless, because they were exhausted. The business wasn't failing, far from it. The demand was there, the customers were there, the opportunities were there. The problem was something much harder to see. The company had become trapped inside its own success. More customers created more work created more chaos created more mistakes, and more mistakes created more stress. It was a cycle with no obvious escape. Alex had built a successful business, but somewhere along the way, the business had started running Alex, and the worst part? Things were about to get even worse, because one Monday morning, a single missed opportunity would force Alex to question everything and ultimately lead to a decision that would change the company forever. The breaking point arrived on a Monday morning, not with a crash, not with a lawsuit, not with a financial disaster, with an email Alex never saw, buried beneath hundreds of messages. A major client had reached out 3 days earlier. They needed an urgent response, a simple confirmation, a quick reply. Nothing complicated, but nobody answered. By the time Alex found it, the client was already gone, just like that. Thousands of dollars in recurring revenue disappeared, not because the service was bad, not because the client was unhappy, because one email got lost. That night, Alex sat alone in the office. Everyone else had gone home, the lights were off, the city outside was silent, but inside Alex's head, everything was loud. The exhaustion had become impossible to ignore. The long hours, the missed opportunities, the constant stress, the feeling that no matter how hard the team worked, the business was still falling behind. The obvious solution was hiring more people. But there was one problem: the numbers didn't work. Another employee meant another salary. Another salary meant more pressure. And more pressure was the last thing the company needed. For the first time, Alex asked a dangerous question. What if the problem wasn't a lack of people? What if the problem was the system itself? That question led down a rabbit hole. Hours passed. Midnight became 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock became 2. And somewhere between frustration and desperation, Alex discovered something strange. A small online community of founders, operators, automation experts, people building businesses that seemed impossibly efficient. They all talked about the same thing: not a single tool, not a magic app, a stack, a system, a digital workforce hiding behind the scenes. Three tools appeared over and over again. The first was Make.com, a platform designed to connect software together, to automate repetitive tasks, to eliminate manual work. The second was OpenAI, not just as a chatbot, but as an intelligence layer, something capable of reading messages, understanding requests, making decisions, generating responses. And the third was Airtable, a central brain, a place where information could live, organized, accessible, connected. Separately, the tools were powerful. Together, they looked revolutionary. Alex stared at the screen, trying to understand what was happening, because for the first time in months, there appeared to be a way out without fully understanding the technology, without knowing whether it would work. Alex made a decision. Tomorrow, the company would begin building its first AI-powered system, and if it succeeded, everything would change. Friday, 6:03 p.m. The office was empty. The weekend had officially begun, for everyone except Alex. Most people saw a weekend. Alex saw a deadline, 48 hours. That's all the time left. 48 hours to either fix the system or accept that the business would continue drowning in chaos. The first few hours were messy, nothing worked, connections failed, automations broke, error messages appeared everywhere. But Alex kept going. Coffee became fuel, fuel became obsession. Hour 6, the first breakthrough. Make.com successfully connected to the company inbox for the first time. Every incoming email could be captured automatically. No more manual sorting, no more endless scrolling, no more important messages disappearing into the void. Every new message entered the system instantly, but collecting information wasn't enough. The system needed to understand it. That was where OpenAI came in. Alex connected the inbox feed directly into the AI. A customer question arrived. The AI read it, analyzed it, identified the intent, generated a response, all within seconds, a support request, a sales inquiry, a pricing question. The AI could recognize each one automatically. The same work that once consumed hours now happened almost instantly. Hour 12. The sun came up. Alex never went to bed. Now came the final piece. The brain, Airtable. The place where everything would live. Every customer, every lead, every interaction, every opportunity, stored in one centralized system. Alex connected the final workflow. Email arrives, Make.com captures it, OpenAI reads it, Airtable updates automatically, one by one. The pieces came together. A new lead entered the inbox. Airtable created a record. OpenAI summarized the conversation. The lead was tagged automatically. A follow-up task appeared instantly. Another email arrived. The same thing happened. And then another, and another. For the first time. The business wasn't reacting. The business was responding automatically. Hour 24, then 30, then 40. The office looked different now. Coffee cups everywhere, notes covering the desk, code on every screen, eyes burning from exhaustion. But something incredible was happening. The system was alive. Data entered. Decisions happened. Records updated. Responses drafted. Tasks assigned. Without human intervention, without delays, without mistakes. Then finally, Sunday night, 11:47 p.m. Alex ran one final test. An email arrived. The automation triggered. The AI processed the request. The customer record updated. The response drafted itself. No errors, no failures, no interruptions. Just flow. Alex leaned back, stared at the screen, and smiled. Because after 48 relentless hours, the impossible suddenly looked possible. What Alex didn't know yet was that Monday morning would reveal something even more shocking. The system wasn't just working, it was about to outperform the entire process it had replaced. Monday, 8 a.m., the moment of truth. Alex walked into the office expecting the usual disaster, the overflowing inbox, the missed opportunities, the weekend backlog waiting to explode, the same chaos, the same stress, the same routine. Alex opened the laptop and froze. The inbox was organized, the leads were categorized, the customer records were updated, the tasks were assigned. Everything was exactly where it needed to be. No panic, no confusion, no firefighting, just order. The system had been working all weekend, without breaks, without distractions, without forgetting a single task. The numbers told the story. Over the weekend, 140 emails had entered the system, 140 opportunities for something to go wrong, 140 chances to lose customers, 140 chances to miss revenue. Instead, every message was captured, every request was processed, every record was updated. Nothing slipped through the cracks. Then came the surprise. 3 high-ticket sales calls had been booked automatically, not by a salesperson, not by an assistant, by the system. 3 qualified prospects, 3 revenue opportunities, 3 conversations that never would have happened before, because in the old system, at least one of those leads would have been missed, maybe all 3. But the biggest number wasn't the emails or the sales calls, it was the cost. Before the automation stack, the company needed another operations hire, someone to manage workflows, track leads, update records, handle repetitive tasks. The estimated cost, thousands of dollars every month, salary, benefits, training, management. Instead, the business ran on a software stack costing less than $50 per month. Make.com, OpenAI, Airtable, connected together, working 24 hours a day. The savings exceeded $10,000 every month. Not because people were replaced, because repetitive work was replaced. The team didn't disappear. The team became more valuable, more focused, more productive. And that's when Alex realized something important. This was never about automation. It was never about AI. It was never about software. It was about time. Time reclaimed, time protected, time multiplied. Because every growing business eventually faces the same challenge: more customers, more complexity, more work. The question is whether growth creates freedom or creates chaos. The businesses that thrive in the next decade won't necessarily have the biggest teams. They'll have the best systems, the best workflows, the best future stacks. And somewhere right now, a founder is sitting alone at a desk, drowning in emails, missing opportunities, wondering how to keep up, just like Alex did. What they don't know yet is that the solution might already exist, waiting to be built. The story of Alex may be fictional, but the tools are real, the blueprint is real, and the opportunity is very real. If you want to see the exact stack used in this video, including the workflow architecture, the automation blueprint, and the tools behind the system, you'll find everything linked in the description below. This is only the beginning. Because the future won't be built by people working harder, it will be built by people building smarter systems. If you're ready to create your own future stack, make sure to subscribe to Future Media Stack. New videos every week. Real AI workflows, real automations, real business systems, designed for the next generation of builders. Until next time, keep building, keep automating, and keep stacking the future. Future Media Stack.